Born in the USA. I was born in the USA now. Born in the USA. I'm a long gone daddy in the USA now. Born in the USA. Born in the USA. Born in the USA. I'm a cool rocking daddy in the USA now. And that was said by Elton John. Good morning, unless it isn't morning in your time zone, in which case ignore this part of the video, and welcome to this casted game between myself, Hippie, playing the 8th US Infantry Division, which you've not seen me on before on this channel, and I'm up against BoltSauce or Saucy. He's called himself Girthquake, but you'll see it's him at the end. He's played the 3rd US Armoured Division, and we're on Vertigo. So, I've spoken about this map a couple times, but basically 3rd's in a better position here, because this map's quite open and it helps 3rd, but 8th isn't far behind. 8th still has a lot of tools to deal with this. 8th is still top tier division, in my opinion. So let's talk about the deployment. Start with me. First things first, I accidentally left the LRS out of my deck. So that's why there's no LRS. So don't base your deployments on this, because you should really have some LRS. They're so broken right now. You see that my opponent brings plenty. But yeah, in lieu of the LRS, I've still got the scouts in the ACAV. Basically, I changed my version to cast a replay, and that kicked the LRS out of my deck. I don't know, it happens sometimes. Remember to check your decks after changing versions. So ACAV going to here with the scouts just to block this off, and I'm going very heavy on the right side. You'll note that I've opened 0 CVs. If you saw the final between me and Sotek, I didn't open CVs on that either. It's all about winning the zone, so you can buy CVs later. So I've got some more scouts and ACAVs going to this building here. Would be great if they were LRS, but they're not. Scout helicopter, and behind that I've got 2 Cobras and a tow Cobra. Usually there would be some LRS, but we've spoken about that. And in lieu of the LRS, I've got Black Hawk arrow rifle. So this is quite expensive. You can sell the Black Hawk, but it ain't cheap. 70 points, it ain't cheap. I think this is a bit too much, really. But I've now been told that balance is taking place on a divisional aspect, not on an individual unit cost efficiency aspect. So some divisions will have access to the same tools, but it'll be more expensive than other divisions which are sort of specialized for that tool, and this is an example of that currently in the game. This is not as good as air mobiles or aero, or whatever they're called, air mobiles, whatever the French ones are called, aero chocolate bars. And yeah, it's not as good as them, but 8th still has access to this capability. So you got to see things from a divisional perspective. Behind that, we've got Army Rangers, which are really OP, bro. 45-point Special Forces. I mean, it's like, oh, but they don't have max strength. Like, who cares? Those 45-point Special Forces is really good. And Military Police M67, some supply and some chaparrals, and it's all paths to here, with the exception of the chaparrals, which are going to here. So I'm going to hit the town hard, and I'm very light on the left. Let's switch to our opponent's deployment. We've got some LRS going around to here. They could make it to here at the start. And then we've got no play for this building here. Instead, we have 2 M1A1s. The CV is going to cap all the zones and end up here. So that's going to do so quite slowly. And then a regular M1A1's passed quite conservatively. Chaparral behind that going to here, and the supply. So it looks like he's just going to give up the town, not going to contest it. Behind that, we've got a Scout and an Apache going to Delta, 2 LRS going to Delta, and 3, no, I can't count, 2 Bradley Fireteam AT4s, a Pivads and a Chaparral all going to Delta. So I'm playing for Alpha and my opponent's playing for Delta, and this is going to be a very interesting game. Once again, I will cast from this completely impartial perspective, and we'll get started. And we're off. I believe that holding the town is the key to winning the game. It's a lot easier to get back into Delta, particularly from my side, than it is to get back into the town from either side. Even if you're on Foxtrot and you have to get back into Delta, there are ways and means. You smoke this off, and you hit it in the front. Or alternatively, you path all your guys down here and you you take this part, because the guys that are here can't shoot down there, so they'd have to be here. You can sort of smoke this, take this, and then move across and clean this. It's not ideal, but that's something you can do that the red side can't do. You can't get down here once you lose this because it's all open and you'll just get shot. Whereas this is a bit more closed, there's a bit more hopping available. So I bought an F-16 at the start, and I took out the Scout, which is the smart idea, because the Scout gives recon for the Apache. The Apache now has to fly in straight into things to see him, but he is going to take this out. And I try and get this guy, but the hills are messing me up. And I've taken this, and I'm quite surprised. I expected a big throwdown at the start, but there's another one here. And Saucy's now +3. BoltSauce, whatever you want to call him. Yeah, 16 still going at it. I mean, I can just get multiple passes off because he's not bought any air to counter me. And then this Chaparral really should have been rerouted much earlier to take out this Apache. I've got another Chaparral coming in. Some fire team laws with dragons just to secure this massively. I want to secure this massively, but that was probably a mistake on my part. Looking at what we're seeing here, I'm just losing Delta. And then I lost visual on this, and I sort of wasted my last gun run. 24 rounds left, and evac bingo anyway. So the Apache is going over here now, and now I'm just getting messed up. F-15's finally out, but I already got away. Desperately trying to get over to this guy. Takes a lot of rockets to kill things with armor now. And the rocket costs are really expensive. I don't know. I mean, it's alright, I guess. Helicopters keep getting the short end of the stick. I realise that at lower level play, the helicopters are way more annoying to deal with than at high level play, where everybody knows you can just chuck X plane at it and it'll die in one pass. Over here, BoltSauce has got his LRS in. These guys don't have an AT option, so he's quite rightly put them in this building, because if they were in this building, I'd kill them, and I'm quite rightly chasing after him, trying to take him out. There is a range limitation on these DMRs. It's weird that those two can't see each other. But yeah, in close quarters, the fire team law will lose to the LRS, and you see I get routed immediately, and that's because the LRS is shock, and that means that you just take massive stress damage when you're near them. With my tow Cobras, I try and cut this road, but I was quite unfortunate in that I showed up just as his Chaparral and his Pivads got there, so I just start losing these. I think I lose 2, yeah, and the last one's really low. I didn't get anything out of that, so that was a big point swing, and I really could have done without that. If I'd been a bit faster, I would have got there before the Chaparral and the Pivads and killed this LRS, perhaps, and perhaps the Bradleys. I've now bought a CV because, I'm Saucy's +6, and I've taken this zone successfully. No one's getting in here now. And no supply with these units, so the Chaparral's now useless. Not that I knew that, so I still have to be aware of it. I still have to plan as if it's there, because I don't know. He doesn't have supply, this force. And then these Bradleys are put in a standoff position, and I've now lost Charlie, and I'm now losing the game. Moving these AA helicopters over here is a big mistake, and the Chaparrals will start killing these. They're cool, like he gets the Scout, but he's going to lose them all, potentially, depending on the angles here. Get a bit lucky with that, unlucky with that last one, but whatever. I've got more Chaparrals to go around, and supply for them. And yeah, I'm now losing. Well, I'm still losing. BoltSauce is on a +3. The M1A1, this was a big mistake, sending it forwards without recon, and it's just going to eat a TOW 2 now. And this is how haste makes waste. I'm like, oh, I got to get back into the zone, but if you keep throwing units like that, you're not getting back in anywhere, and you're going to lose the game. So don't lose your heads. If I just waited an extra minute for this to show up, or for these guys to get a bit closer and reveal this Bradley, then that M1A1 would still be firing, and we'd be in a really good place. This LRS will kill these aero rifles. LRS really broken, but I get them too if I had not, if I had brought them, which was a big mistake on my part. And yeah, I'm trying to use a Thunderbolt, but I can't see. Now I can see. Now that the scouts are here, I believe I can see. So we're trying to kill these Bradleys. The F-15's out, and I don't think this Chaparral can hit it before it gets to my Thunderbolt. So typically what you'd want to do in this situation is head him off so you can shoot him with the guns. But yeah, I get him, and the Thunderbolt goes down to the pivots. So that's a crying shame, but at least we got one of his Eagles. He's either got 4 or 2 Eagles, I think. I didn't actually check the veterancy on that. And yeah, you see the air rifles died to the LRS 20 rounds. You just, you just pump it out, kill squads, whatever. So now I'm sending the Rangers and the Tow Cobra. And I really need to take this back before it's further resupplied, but BoltSauce taking the decision to actually move on Alpha before fully securing Charlie. And yeah, you got to be careful of everything going at different speeds. But I didn't know what was in here, so that's why I unloaded the fire teams and everybody. I believe we've got some engineers Dragon in there. I still don't know when it's best to bring the engineer Dragon in the M113 or the fire team lore in the M113A3 Dragon. It's personal preference, I suppose. This guy should be up here with the push. And yeah, fire team 84... he misses his first 2, which is quite unlucky. But yeah, it's only dealing 1 pip of damage, so I can just tank this. I can just tank all 8 missiles, I'll be fine. Because 50% accuracy, you'd expect 4 hits, and I took 3 hits. Which is fair enough, and I'm still doing fine, because yeah, on the front armor it only deals 1 pip of damage. And now we're trying to move up and just clear this. Now that we know the fire team AT4s are out of ammo, the vehicles can go in and mess people up. And I got an M1 Abrams CP in here as well now. Infantry small arms don't deal a lot of damage, but they do deal reasonable suppression. But when you got 10 of everything or whatever, then this becomes quite effective. And this ACAV managed to get from here around to here, so I can kill additional units coming down here. Enemy's got a Thunderbolt up. I believe my Chaparral... Well, yeah, my Chaparral's a bit out of position, I guess. Cluster as well, going for where that Abrams used to be, but he can't see so much anymore. I don't know if he got the hit off on me there. I lost a lot of HP. And then the F-16 I try and use against the Thunderbolt, but when you're going up against the Thunderbolt, you don't want to get too close because its guns will kill you, and that's what happened there. I lost that. Both my Abrams survive, but this one's on really low cohesion, and then he dies to that enemy Abrams. And this guy is doing alright. Over here, we've got an attempt on my life, an assassination attempt. I really should have put like an ITO in this building and an ITO in this building. That would have just stopped all of this. But I'm busy. And the fire team laws are now pouring on the hurt. He's forced to reverse to get away from the fire team laws, so I shoot him in the back and I kill him. Apaches and Cobras coming out now, and the Chaparral trying to move it up before everybody dies. The M1 I should have smoked immediately, really. But he's gone too close, and the Chaparral's going to fire now. And we get 1 hit out of 3, which is, it's happens. I mean, keep in mind he has 20% ECM, so that puts my accuracy down to 35%. So 1 hit out of 3 is, or 1 hit out of 4 is, what, 25% accuracy. So it's whatever. It's reasonable. And then, quite rightly, BoltSauce trying to withdraw these before the plane comes to kill them. But I know where he's going, right? And eventually I'll spot him. So we get the Apache. And then, wacky turning circle moment. Sometimes you have to manually path them. And we get the Cobra, but then this F-15 comes out and hits all its missiles and kills us, which is sad. But we're now in here. And so I know that the route forwards is clear because this ACAV had scouted that. And so we're going to go all in. On this side, I have been pushed out. The military police aren't good enough to stop a push like this, really. And yeah, here comes the Ito that I should have really ordered a bit sooner, but I was busy. And then the tow cobra shouldn't have been hovering like that. He should have been on low altitude, so that was my fault entirely. And now we've taken Delta as well. Finally getting some points on the board, +2. I'm forced to withdraw, but these guys used their smoke before. Sadly, the Ito is missing. I would prefer it if it shot the Bradley first, but I didn't tell it to. But the Bradley exposes itself to an AT-4 side shot and dies. If I'm going too close, there's no need for that. It's just he can't see this because he's not brought recon, and the Bradley's optics are mediocre, and so he was trying to get close to spot it, but that exposed him to the ranges. The Ito will eventually hit, but it only deals 2 damage anyway, so we'd have to be doing a lot of that. The Tow 2 can be useful, but you only get 3 in a card, whereas you get 8 Itos. And so, and with the costs, you know, sometimes it's better to just bring 2 Itos, and that's the price of, it's just over the price of 1 Tow 2. Well, maybe that's an exaggeration. Over here, I don't know this is here. But he doesn't have an AT option, and that's why he's not shooting my stuff as it comes up. So we spot this, and I've taken Delta, but in classic hippie fashion, I want more, and so I'm playing very aggressively. But now it's a +4. So look, CVs at the start on Vertigo. I hope by now, with all the videos I've been making on this, you understand that buying CVs at the start on Vertigo. So here, BoltSauce only bought 1, but it cost 240 points, so it was the price of 2. And, or it might be 270 actually, M1A, 1CP. These guys are out of position, I've just realised now, because when I saw the F-15. And I didn't know about this, and this is what I was talking about. So once red takes this, blue can still get back in on here. The entire game changes if you use loads of smoke, that's what I'm trying to do. I see the cluster, and the M1s are really fast, so usually you can get away. But I went backwards instead of forwards. Still, because of the spread pattern, I survived, but on low HP. And I'm forced to smoke to avoid the Thunderbolt. The Chaparral tries to 1v1 a Thunderbolt, but it ran out of ammo and died. And yeah, I shouldn't be attacking, I should be securing my line. That's the optimum way to play, but I'm not an optimum player. I'm a based schizophrenic, as they say. And I don't have any fire team 84 here, and this guy's really low, so this M1A1 can actually just kill everything here, and I think he's figured that out now. So yeah, he's going to aim before me because of my low cohesion, and he's going to kill me before I can respond. Over here, Saucy's in on this side. You can't be diving with the Eagles like that against OP Chaparrals, but it looks like I lost something. Looks like I lost something here. What is that? F-16 maybe? It looks like an F-16. So I'm trying to reinforce as fast as possible, hence aero rifles, not cost efficient. But I need to get across, but then I realise, well, it's too late. He's got the LRS and the M1A1 combo, and I'm not getting to that. I have to get back. So at least I got this guy in this building, and I threw this lead here. I could have just sat there and not moved guys forwards, and that would have helped. Over here, I'm trying to get him out. And yeah, bring up the M270 MLRS. This thing is good, mainly for suppression rather than damage. It does damage targets, but basically you wait for the missiles to come in and then you whack them. Obviously the Bradley's going to get there before the tow missile. The Abrams round's going to get there before the tow missile round gets there, but I don't see this because I don't have a recon helicopter because I lost it before. And I haven't bought any recon. Just goes to show how important recon is in this game. So he gets 2 side shots off on the Abrams and whacks it. Blah blah blah, 50% accuracy. But as you can see, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't, and you just live with it. You just got to live with it. As it stands, we're using the M270 to clear out this area. If you've watched the final between me and Sotek, which was on the SDL channel, I'll just link it in the description because I've mentioned it twice now. Then you'll know how effective these MLRSs are on Vertigo, just because the hidey spots are quite small, and people haven't got used to, like, as soon as he heard that fire, and he should have just driven that out and then driven it back in, but people haven't gotten used to facing that yet. So, you know, MLRS on this, MLRS on this, MLRS on this, MLRS on this, MLRS on this. Do you know what I mean? These areas are quite small, and it really will mess you up. Over here, my Engineer's Dragon, sadly, it missed the first one, but got the second one, and my CV died. I had an Abrams CV, I don't know what killed it, I can't remember. Probably this M1A1 here. So I got him, but he's neutralized his own, so I'm now +2 instead of +4. So that was my bad. I should have had a CV before pushing, and, you know, we're sorely missing some supply over here. It's worth noting that Saucy really would have benefited from buying an M1 HA Abrams, because the HA Abrams eats the regular Abrams for breakfast, and I don't get the HA Abrams. So instead of getting 2 of these, I'd get 1 HA. The issue is you have to defend it, but with 2 chaparrals behind it and a recon in front of it and an infantry in front of it, that's defense. That's all you need. And though these things, yeah, obviously his M1A1s come at 3 vet, whereas mine only come at 2 vet, just because 3rd Armoured Division, they get more slots, and so it's easier to bring them at 3 vet. Yeah, once again, would be cool if he brought a HA, but then you've got to defend it, and, you know, it might get hull breached. What are the chances, eh? Over here, we see something very funny happening. More on that later. And yeah, the LRS is finally moving up, and I finally realised that. Look, I just can't see anything. So, second volley. These are quite supply hungry, you can't do this all day. And yeah, I get the CV in. And quite rightly, he's just moved this out of the way. So he's going to be fine. Cluster going for where he thinks the M1 Abrams is, M1A1 Abrams is, because he doesn't have line of sight. I see the cluster, and I was going to drive forwards, but then I saw it, so I drove backwards. And yeah, the M1's great. Like, if you're paying attention, you can dodge every cluster. Same with the T80. They're fast, so you can do it. Same with the AMX-30B2. So all the French tanks tend to be quite fast. So now we're trying to engage the M1A1, but my first shot goes on Fire Team AT4, but he has to back because of the ITO, and he doesn't know if it's an ITO or a TO2. This could have done with being a recon, but he's shooting and he's revealing himself, which is not intelligent. And yeah, the ITO runs out, and I don't have the supply with it. It's a supply helicopter, which if I brought it up to here, the chaparral would kill it. So I need to pull the ITO back, and, you know, it's not great, but we're still going to win this fight because we've got, you know, the last ITO round. However, he's now got another M1A1, and I recognise... Do I recognise? Am I paying attention? No, I don't recognise anything. And then I get the bailed out crit, which means you can't control your vehicle, you can't even click it. Just a skill issue, I guess. Happens. You'll note that in my previous game against Odysseus, also on this channel, he had a bailed out BMD too. So, you know, it just happens. It's something you just got to deal with. Over here, another F111E cluster. I don't even use these just because the spread pattern's so wacky. The clusters don't reliably one-shot tanks now, unless it's a ST-22 cluster. But it takes it out of the fight. Like, this is not going to be too useful against other people now. And I'm finally back in over here, and this time I'm going to do it properly. Although still no rounds for my chaparral, so that cluster guy gets out. Yeah, shouldn't have really happened. This is now pathing around the side. I thought that this would be sufficient, but because of the hill, it's not. So I don't actually have this side covered. And once again, I'm playing fast and loose and trying to be aggressive, because it's fun. This guy should really have his weapons turned off, because one shot he's going to die, and he's providing good recon. Black is what you can see, or, you know, clear is what you can see. Light blue is what you could see if he had better binoculars, and light grey is outside LOS, so you'd never be able to see it. So A10 comes in for not much of anything, and really not worth it. I've got an Eyehawk up now as well. This LRS will eventually die, so, you know, don't underestimate these M113A3s. The 50 cal's good. Over here, I've had it, because I'm like, oh, I don't have any ammo in my ITO. So we've got no standoff against this, and now he's close enough that he would see the ITO. If he had recon, he'd see it from further away, obviously. Over here, we're trying to fight the M1A1 CV, but this guy's low cohesion, and, you know, he can only take one more hit. We get him with that, but I'm just sort of monging out. I really should have just not bothered with this. And wait for some supply to show up. And yeah, BoltSauce leaving his M1A1s here. I mean, to be honest, yeah, because he doesn't know what's in here, and so if he gets any closer, he might get shot from 850-meter range rocket launchers, which I don't get, but he could be shot by the 1,400-meter range military police launchers or some, you know, just whatever. So you need infantry in front of your tanks, and this is good standoff. So he's taken the front of this town, and then if I try and move up to push him out, the tanks shoot me. He's also trying to resupply stuff. This time I've learned from my mistake. Nobody's going to be getting over here this time. Getting in over here this time. I was trying to move up the chaparral to get the scout, but BoltSauce quite rightly moves him back. And yeah, this guy got through my picket line because it wasn't a very good picket line. I've been trying to use the LGB bomber, and yeah, it's pretty good. Like, I dropped 2 rounds, one on the fire team AT4 and one on the chaparral. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. You need LOS all the time, but sometimes it just misses anyway. It's very strange. Over here, we see the leader come in, but no, this was a mistake. He should have had his weapons turned off, because now he's going to die, and now I don't see him anymore. So, big mistake. And now he's capped mid, because I didn't have a CV in mid, because I drove it over to Delta. So now he's even, and he's about to get +6 because of this. Buy some more itos. I've learned from my mistake, but now I need some infantry, right? Because he's got infantry in here as well. I need some fighting infantry. And now BoltSauce is on a +6. So it's not looking great for me. So I path this guy back, and I believe I start pathing chaparrals back. And I bought a CV for Alpha anyway, but now he's going to Bravo. The sky should be resupplied, really. So now he's going to cap Charlie as well. This is a heinous and cowardly act. I would definitely do that to somebody. I have done it in the past. And yeah, we're donking these Abrams. They need to get out of here now. 3 itos, probably an overinvestment. Could use some more infantry. So I don't know what's here. I don't know if he's kept something here, if there's somebody with an AT here. So I should have, yes. So I should have waited for the M113A3 to get in first before the MUT, but they're getting them at the same time. And I get the scout helicopter, so we salt that one, but now he's back up to a +6. Or he was briefly up to a +9, but now back up to a +6 again. And now I'm trying to attack over here on Foxtrot. This Abrams is a problem though, and this was a mistake. I was trying to use M60s to saturate, but no artillery preparation. Like, where's the M270 shot on this? And these M60s, you know, 1 round and they're out, because the second one will kill them, so they've got to smoke, and then I don't have anything. And this was a poor attack. So over here, you know, we're trying to get the MUT CV into there. Uses an Eagle to try and get the scout, but he can't get through the AA. And then I miss with the IHawk, and I'm trying to get the chaparral to him. I can't get it to him. The artillery preparation arrives, but it's too late, and you know, there's a Cobra here, and this just wasn't a very well thought out attack. So, yeah, now I need to get to Charlie, so by another CV. He's +6, he's about to win. And I recognize that the Black Hawk will kill this MUT, so I need to get it back. Chaparral's only got 2 rounds. But I take this back now, at least, for now. And he's only down to a +2, but I'm about to lose the game. I get the scout in, and you know, this guy's on 1 HP, but we just couldn't finish him off. And then he's going to run in here, so I can't see him anymore. And because I attacked here, I'm no longer good to move guys back, because everybody's dead. The chaparral only had 2 rounds, it got 1 hit, 1 miss, and then died. And now this MUT's in the open, and I can't send it back here, because the engineers will kill it. So that's not good either. So we're now down to even Stevens. So what's the moral of the story here? Make sure you've got your flanks protected, like 1 recon helicopter here would have stopped all that, and 1 like here would have stopped all that. But you know, when you're winning especially, you have to expect your enemy to do things like this, because that's his way back into the game. So he's trying to get in over here now, and the toes, this one's out of ammo. So my fault yet again, because I mean there's supply right here, just don't have him in. I'm losing the town to the infantry. I have to deploy my stingers, because, you know, if they're in the open, the Apache will just kill them in one shot. Trying to move the Chaparral over. He's only got 2 missiles, so once again, supply issue. This Abrams is in a really bad place. This guy is not in a good place either, but the Ito is missing. Get the engineers direct, so I now see this, and that's why this guy's pathing over to here, because I think I saw it from the iHawk or something. Once these guys drop, you can use the Black Hawk to fire its rounds. It only gets 300, but it's something. And then the Chaparral takes out the Apache, 2 shots, 1 hit. And yeah, this engineer's leader's unsupported, no smoke or anything, so he will go down pretty quickly. But BoltSauce on a +2 yet again for a brief moment. And yeah, the aero rifles will lose to fire team laws because, well, there's more of them. And, you know, this guy's not in a building yet. But the Black Hawks I'm just using to soak some shots. I do with moving the M113A3 over here, or using the Scout. So the Cobra's back in because of the Stingers. I've got Chaparral behind as well, and I'm trying to get the Mutt in. Desperately trying to get these points. Over here, I'm starting to lose it on this side, so he's gonna, you know, he's now trying to get this back in. Aggressive deployment, but you see the plan, right? He uses the Cobra to scout. There's not much left in here. 1A1's been picking everybody off. So the Stingers do have guns, you know, they've only got 1 each. Chaparral doesn't have anything, the Mutt doesn't have anything. But yeah, this guy's on 1 HP from the Scout before and everything, so I'm pretty confident I can kill him. Particularly when he's in the open like this, and I just drive the Mutt right into him because I checked his weapon so that he doesn't have an AT, he's got 1 guy. And then I bomb myself. Clutch play. Could you imagine if that went wrong? I would have lost 100% right there. That would have just been game over. But as it stands, I'm desperately trying to claw back in here. The LGB, you know, there's no AA here anymore, and so I use the LGB and take out 1 of his CVs, but he's got 2. This thing's really good. I really like it. This game has shown me how good it is. But you need green air. So, you know, I buy another one, I was like, wow, this is working. But yeah, sometimes they just sort of miss. Do you know what I mean? Like, that did not go where I told it to go. And none of the other bombers in the game do that, apart from these LGB guys. But yeah, these ones seem... Well, yeah, exactly, yeah, so I could see him, but once again, it just, I don't know, it just didn't go where I wanted it to go. But so sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Who knows? Who knows what's going on with that? I don't know if it's intended behavior or a bug, you know, because it doesn't have 100% accuracy from what I remember. So now I'm a +2 because I fully own this zone. I got a long way to catch up. And the mech rifles are getting in here now. But yeah, with the Black Hawk and the Scout and the other Black Hawk, we did eventually clear this out with the air rifles. But now here comes the next wave and I'm woefully unprepared again. Goodbye, M1A1. That's the American meta right now. But yeah, over here, I don't have anything for this. This guy's out of ammo. Like, he could have done something, but he's out of ammo. Mech rifles, that's not going to work at close range. The M60A3 is not going to work at close range. So my bluff's been called on this side, and I'm getting pushed out again. Another M1A1, but it's not going to get there in time. Don't have any fire team AC4 in here or anything. So this can just drive in and kill everybody. But at these ranges, the M60, you know, it will deal a lot of damage, but, you know, he dies in 1 hit. And then I try and whack him with this, and we deal like 1 pip of damage or something. So I gotta get the Mutt out of there, it's gonna die. There's also a cluster coming for it. But yeah, air right now, a bit of a one-way trip, particularly when there's iHawks. Doesn't kill himself, which is a shame. And over here, I'm now losing this fight again because of the mech rifles, and we're even again. 10 minutes left. More reinforcements coming. This guy's not firing, but then again, neither is this guy. Oh, here we go. Finally got the old noggin jogging. And yeah, the Mutt, I should have kept him path down here, but instead I tried to fast move him or something and exposed him, but it's hard because the military police was seeing him anyway if he comes down here, so there was probably no way of saving that. Over here, my Abrams is only 2 vet, but he's only got 4 HP, so I'm going to win this. Unless you get really unlucky. But here comes 3 more Abrams. I get the LGBs out again. One of them's repairing, but the other one's up, and I switch this firing to here because I saw him moving up. And yeah, no AA. So you see the LGBs because they're so accurate occasionally. Like when they're accurate, they're really accurate, and so it hits the top armor, and that's how you can dome a tank. But then this one just sort of... Right, do you see what I mean? Like that did definitely try to guide itself, but I don't know, it just didn't have the same effect. And this guy's like doomed basically, because there's 2 tanks shooting at him. This volley's not doing too much either, which is a shame. Very sad. Well, to be honest, we might get a couple of hits. Yeah, so we get a little bit, but on 3 vet, you know, his cohesion's going to come back quite quickly. Send this up to here to make sure there's nobody here. So I know this guy's here, but I don't know what's going on here. My next Abrams arrives, and yeah, this guy's low cohesion because of before, but I can't see him. I don't know why he's on holding fire. Oh, because he doesn't want to reveal himself, because if he does, then I'm going to shoot back and I'm going to kill him. So that's pretty smart. Over here, I brought some engineers flash. The Abrams are now in here, and finally we see a HA. He had low cohesion, so he couldn't aim fast enough, and that's how I got the first shot off, and obviously the first kill because he was low armor. Over here, I'm now trying to use both at once. He can only kill 1. So yeah, he gets the crit on me, but it's still not enough to kill at that close range, because I got 2 hits off on him, I kill him. So now we're getting back in here as well. M1A1CV. I'm still losing. Over here, no supply. Can't use the M113 because the mech rifles will kill it. If you get within 350 meters, you can, but as you're going towards him, you'll get shot off and he'll get you, so it's tough. And I'm out of Cobras and stuff. Like a Cobra here would be so useful. But you can see that, you know, I've got sight on everything that's happening. That's how I knew that the M1s were moving up, right? Because I've got sight on it. It's just, I don't have the unit as the other unit. So he never cleared this out properly, which is much to his detriment. His chagrin, that's a word. Not sure if that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, there's no CV in here because it was the tank CV. And so we're now up to a +4. With 7 minutes left. And yeah, this guy, he accidentally landed, which was a mistake. But hey, that's a good way to bait out shots, isn't it? And we win. So GG, well played. Told you it was BoltSauce. He was higher ranked before we played Lamau. But yeah, really close game. I almost lost. Just remember when you're ahead to buy some defensive units. Even like a, 50-point unit. It will save your life. It will save your life. So yeah, lots of things I could have done wrong there. Not having the LRS in the deck was really stupid. Really stupid. Didn't have my chaparrals supplied at all times. Chaparral's a bit broken right now. Obviously both sides get them here. And yeah, GG.